Hey there, Cosmic Warriors, and welcome to this live reading session with me, Hannah, your astrologer. So, I'm just going to take a moment to wait for people to join before I say anything else. Oh, I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Hello, people are starting to join. Hi, thank you for being here. I'm here with a live reading session, and it's a Sunday. Of course, the sun is in Leo. It's Leo season. We also have the moon in Sagittarius, and we have Mercury retrograde, of course, still in Leo. And then we have other planets in Aries. So quite a bit of fire going on, and I'm feeling pretty good about this session. So let's see who joins. And we do have someone who has joined. So Claudia will be exploring your chart today. Thank you. Hello to Feminine Rose. Welcome to you. I hope you're doing good today. And hello to SJ. Oh, you're saying hi from Malta. Oh, how wonderful. I'm sure the weather is gorgeous there. So, yes, thank you for being here. If you're interested in booking a live reading session with myself, the information is down below. And hello to Maria. Hi from Brazil, all the way from Brazil. Wow, that is incredible. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Kripa. I hope so. You are joining in from India. Hello to you. And let me read what you've said here. Amazing. I'm so glad that you have learned from the information that I offer. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate your recognition. And hello to No Name from Vienna. Wowee, nice. And then you say yes, Kripa, you're joining from India. Amazing. Hello, Danielle. I hope you're doing good. Hi. So you're at work. Okay, no problem at all. Great to have you here. Always good to have you here. And yes, Claudia, we have you booked in. So I am gonna share your chart. And hi to you, Claudia. I hope you're doing good today. Yeah, so if you give me a moment and I will display your chart on screen. Thank you for being here, everyone. Thanks for joining. If you would like to book a live reading with myself, the information on how to do that is all in the description box. These are mini readings, of course, just remember that. But if you would like a full reading, you can go to my website, hannahselsewhere.com. I've actually updated my services, so take a look. The link's down below, of course. And I think, guys, I've found the perfect mix of readings so that I can cater to many people. Especially the new offerings. We've got creativity, business, help with children guidance, things like that based on their chart. It's all happening. But yes, Claudia, we're going to explore you. And then hello to Miss Sunroad. Hi, I'm glad you can join this time. I remember, I think, was it last week you said that you couldn't attend? So good to have you here. Welcome back. And Claudia, you said that you are feeling good today. Good. Yes, you know what? I'm feeling good today. I was saying at the beginning, moon is in Sagittarius. Of course, it's Leo season. So we have this sun, moon, fire combo. And I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Okay. Now, just to mention everyone that I will not be looking at the chat whilst I'm exploring Claudia's chart. So give me some time, please. Thank you very much for your patience. Okay, let's have a look here. So, Claudia, you want to know about jobs, work, career, opportunities. Well, have I got news for you? So, let me see here. If I just get my details, I need my details. Okay. Right. First thing I am going to say about this, Claudia, is you know what? Mars recently, very recently, touched your natal Chiron in Virgo whilst opposing Saturn. So I am going to say good for you, right? Good for you in that you were able to know your worth. You were able to walk away, right? And maybe Mars, in some way, shape, or form, brought forward that the cut, the push, the motivation, the will, actually, the will to stand up and say, no, thank you. No, we're not dealing with that anymore. I know my worth. I know what I'm about. And then with Saturn, of course, being opposite, right? You did experience your Saturn return over the past couple of years, which we're still within this energy, by the way, right now. But what does that mean? Greater boundaries for yourself, knowing your limits, especially when we think about your energy levels. We think about even your spiritual needs and even addressing those subconscious fears, the subconscious patterns and habits that kind of, right, they lay beneath the surface. So there's something here about stepping into your power. So amazing. Even look at how Mars is the ruler, one of the rulers of all of that Scorpio for you, right? You've got all that Scorpio in the 8th house. And so because of that, we do see the greater empowerment with relation to work. But more than that, you see, there's more than that. This is about your health. This is about your health. This is about your body, knowing your body. Knowing, for example, whenever a certain position or job or role, it's not healthy for you anymore. And so to me, what this has really highlighted is that you've been able to walk away and there is that greater introspection on your part. Amazing. But let's think about this further because so interesting. Oh my goodness. Okay. We are coming very close to another eclipse season. Yep. Eclipse seasons happen about twice a year. And what we have is coming into Virgo season, right? So Virgo season is going to begin on the 22nd of August until, let me just give you dates. I'm all about the dates. I'm all about the details as a Virgo rising. So yeah, the 22nd of August until the 22nd of September, right? That's Virgo season, just to confirm. But you see, on first arrival, there will be the new moon in Virgo. And it's going to happen not too far away from your natal moon, right? So you've got moon in Virgo in the 6th house already. So what does this mean? Well, this is a big indicator of new beginnings. Okay, I'm not saying that on the exact day, you're going to get a new job and it's all going to happen, but the seeds are going to be planted. The awareness, the intentions are going to be put out there. The feelers are going to be put out there. So there could be some progress. There could be something new, something that's born. So that's going to be really interesting for you. But there's more because the new moon in Virgo will happen at the beginning of Virgo season, right? In your 6th house of work, service, health, right? This is, I think, about aligning yourself with good health in that you're going to really pay attention to your body's needs. It's really about your body's needs, especially with Chiron in Virgo. That is paramount. That's so needed. Okay. Then we have Mercury's going to follow from the 2nd of September after this Mercury retrograde that has happened in Leo. So because Mercury will be direct, it'll start to move out of its shadow and everything. In your sixth house, well, hey, it could very well be that there is some kind of maybe a job offer, an interview that you land. There could be some news you receive. There could be some upskilling. There could be a role that you take on, and you think to yourself, "Do you know what? Yeah, I have the skills. I have the capabilities. I'm going to go for this." So that's exciting. Okay, something else. Let me just explore this more, because we also want to remember that what will happen after Mercury enters Virgo is we're really going to be coming into the eclipses, right? We'll be in that eclipse zone around the time. So those eclipses are going to happen in this sixth house, 12th house axis for you. So it is about work, your physical wellness. It is about your spiritual body. It's about who you are behind the scenes, but also when we think about this further, it's about something that's more than you, right? Something that's maybe quite esoteric, right? That's what I was saying with spiritual self. So a lot of shedding and releasing and letting go and endings, right? Endings of chapters. Oh my word, that full moon eclipse in Pisces, it's going to happen in your 12th house. It's going to happen in your 12th house. So something is being drawn to a close, a very boom, like a big closing of a chapter. And of course, it's going to kind of be shown to you over a period of time, over about 6 months or so. But we do see these significant new changes occurring, especially I think through this lens of emotional clarity. Because here's the other thing to add: Saturn retrograde will go back into Pisces from the 1st of September. So there is a clearing out going on. There is this kind of one final analysis of your spiritual self and where you really feel called towards. This is about your higher calling. There's just something about this to me that says, I will not sit here. I will not put up with this. I need to step into something new. And I think even with Saturn and Neptune being in Aries this past while, especially Saturn, there is a new chapter, a new significant chapter that deep down you want to enter into, but it's just that there is some clearing to do. And then, of course, what will happen is the solar eclipse in Virgo will occur, bringing Virgo season to a close, and that's going to also be in your sixth house. At the same time, there will be the opposition to Saturn retrograde too. So all in all, what I really think is you are in for significant new work changes and opportunities in which you may feel really spiritually aligned, or if you don't feel spiritually aligned, there's something about the cosmos, divine timing, just pushing you and pushing you. Even think about it another way, and this is the last thing I'm going to say, Claudia, for you, is the South Node, of course, is in your sixth. The North Node is in Pisces. So I think deep down what is best for you. And I think a part of this is about showing yourself great compassion and kindness. At the same time, still being able to show up daily, right? Showing up when it comes to your routines and your habits, being a bit more conscious, right? Because, hey, you know what? You do have the moon in Virgo, and you having some kind of routine and order, that's what you need. That is so close to what your emotional needs are. Thank you, Claudia. Yeah, that was your chart, your reading. Thank you so much. And hey, I'm excited for you here. I do. I'm excited. I think there's just something. There's something about that period for you. Thank you. Okay, let's explore our next reading. Let me have a look. And then I'm going to look at the chat in a moment. Just bear with me. Thank you so much. We have Tanya. Hi, Tanya. I can't. Oh, yes, Tanya. I think I do remember you. So this is for your boyfriend. Okay, let me have a look. Just give me a moment so I can just keep myself updated here. Okay, let me enter in your information, and then once I've done that, I'm going to look at the chat, all right? Whilst I'm doing this, I would like to draw your attention, everyone, to a quick link in the description. So basically, what has been confirmed is a trip to Bali, May 2026, which is very exciting. So if you're interested in any way, go to the link below and express your interest. And I do want to say thank you so much to everybody who voted over the past couple of weeks. I really appreciate it. And how amazing would it be to meet in person in a different country, traveling in a different country. Of course, hey, you know what? You could already be from Bali. You could be from there and you're watching. But anyway, it would be amazing to meet you in real life and get together as a community. Okay, so 7:10. Okay, got it. Okay. Yep. Double checking information. Ba-bum. Ba-bum. Okay, great. Sorry if I'm breathing really weirdly down the mic. I can hear myself. I'm like, is that weird? I don't know. Is that a bit gross? Right. Okay. And go here. Yes. So we basically have Glenn who is booked in, and then we have, let me read. Yes, then we have Sarah after. Thank you so much. Have I done a reading for you before, Sarah? I don't know. There's something, your name there, it's ringing a bell. It's ringing a bell. But I'm curious, have I done a reading for you before? I feel like I have. Okay. Right, we're back over into the chat. Amazing. Let me see. Okay. Right, I am looking at the chat now. I want to try and make sure that I've caught everybody. Claudia, thank you so much if you're still here. Thank you. Yes, the grounded Virgo energy. Love it. Hello to Nemesis 1122. Hey, greetings from Northern Ireland as well. Hi there. Thanks for joining. And Tanya, hi, welcome to you. Welcome back. Let me see. Yes, Nemesis, you're saying Virgo here, and Miss Sunroad, you're saying Virgo here. The healing Virgo energy, yes, definitely. Oh, Nemesis, your Sun, rising Pluto, South Node in Virgo. Oh, a lot of Virgo. Nice. Beautiful. Okay, all the love, amazing stuff going on in the chat. Amazing. Thank you. And let me see. Lily Rose, welcome to you. I hope you're doing good. So basically the way it works is you go to the link below and then you can book that way. And yeah, you can ask basically about relocation. Yes, I do. I remember you now, Sarah. Yes, yes, Malta. Ah, okay. So that's what you were saying earlier. Greetings from Malta. Amazing. Thanks for being here. I'm glad to hear from you, to have you back. Okay, give me a moment, please, because I need to focus. I'm now looking at Glenn's chart, and this, of course, is for Tanya. Okay, a general reading for Glenn. All right, no problem. And hello to Mo. Welcome to you. Okay, I will not be looking at the chat now, just to say, because I need to focus on the chart. Let me actually double check something. It's Mercury retrograde. We also always want to double check. Yeah, October time. No problem. Okay. Give me a moment, please. Thank you. And like I said, I'm not going to be looking at the chat whilst I read the chart, but we'll check back in a minute, okay? Okay. General reading. Right, Glenn, let's talk about you. Well, the first thing that really caught my eye in your chart is the fact that you've got Chiron here in Taurus in the sixth house, and there's this opposition happening to this Scorpio in the 12th. I'm curious about, and I hope I'm not going too deep too quickly. Forgive me if I am. But I am curious about the very relationship you have with your body, especially through this lens of your health and your wellness, and through this lens of possibly overworking yourself or not really knowing when enough is enough, or possibly knowing when enough is enough, but you push through anyway. I wonder about your energy levels. I wonder about your drive and your willpower. But then equally, I wonder about potential breakthroughs or even matters having to be addressed, right? We see these potential shakeups. We see the disruption, possibly the inner turmoil when it comes to your everyday. Now, at the same time, we also see that Chiron is making a trine to Saturn. Saturn is in the 10th house. So we do see your commitment. My goodness, I think Saturn in the 10th house does highlight just how much you can achieve and how much you have achieved. And it highlights even how you possibly have taken on roles where in which there's a lot of pressure. Maybe a lot of stuff falls on you and it's up to you to basically be responsible. Even the secondary progressed moon right now is there with Saturn. And so there's something about your emotional needs coming to the forefront, I think. Yeah. And this is interesting because as I was saying to Claudia, we've got this next eclipse season coming up. We've got the new moon in Virgo coming. We've got the solar eclipse in Virgo coming as well throughout Virgo season. So this is going to activate your 10th house of career, accomplishment, achievement, status, recognition. So I'm thinking that there are major changes currently happening when it comes to your professional life. Maybe, for example, these things have been brought forward or they have been on your mind, possibly because of your health or because of a certain change, a routine change, a schedule change. There's something that's being reconstructed. But you see, it's not necessarily just outwardly, like practically, physically. This is also emotionally, right? There's something here possibly about you reaching out for emotional support, emotional aid. This could also be maybe certain debts or finances needing to be paid off. Loose ends maybe needing to be tied there when it comes to spending and when it comes to possibly taxes, loans, etc. And what is also coming through here is, well, because you do already have the South Node in Virgo, and the solar eclipse will happen in Virgo around the 21st of September or so. It's going to be right on your north node, not your south node. It's your north node in Virgo. My apologies. Because you have the north node in Virgo and the eclipse is going to come right at that point, I'm seeing here a potential release, a release, a letting go to do with your professional life, to do with your public image, your purpose. Heck, this is so much more than career. This is so much more than your profession. This is about purpose. And you may find that you're going to be aligned in a different way, right? This is about course correction. This is about realignment, especially through this lens of health, wellness. Okay, so that's going to be quite interesting, but let's focus more on this general reading. I wanted to highlight the Virgo stuff because I felt drawn to that. But I'm also going to say that with your rising in Sagittarius and your moon in Sagittarius, my goodness, I think that what you need in order to feel emotionally safe and secure is you need adventure. You need to be able to spread your wings. And that could often be something that you feel conflicted about because your Saturn self, right? The Saturn part of you is like, no, I need to be committed. I need to be practical, responsible. I have got a lot of work to do. I've got this, that, and the other. But the Sagittarius part of you just wants to be free and just wants to travel or explore. The Sagittarius part of you possibly even just wants more of that flexibility. And then with Neptune conjunct the moon as well, there is this intuitive side to you where in which things can't really be analytically assessed or defined, right? There's a big part of you that is all about sensing and tuning in and adapting to different environments and connecting more so with your spiritual gifts or with spiritual insights. And I do wonder even about the kinds of spiritual awakenings you've had throughout your life, especially with all that Scorpio. And then I'm thinking that those kinds of experiences may be linked to past traumas, right? Past emotional challenges there. Yeah, there's a heaviness when we think about it this way, but there's also something here about the profound lessons you have learned with relation to the past, with relation to even your identity, your ego. I even think about this, for example, as you going on a trip or to some sort of faraway destination, and then you really getting messages or feeling really connected to something that's bigger than yourself. I imagine this even as you being able to channel your own difference and uniqueness through the likes of, could be exercise or sports, or maybe even this stuff speaks to the health, all the health stuff that I was talking about a moment ago. So, whilst yes, there could be some of those health matters that could come up to the surface around Virgo season, during Virgo season, I also equally see the amount of shedding, the transformations you've experienced throughout your life when it comes to those very areas too. You've got Jupiter, your chart ruler, in Leo, and it's in the ninth house. So, to me, it suggests that you've bucket loads of experience and you have the confidence to do it, right? It's you that has the confidence, the courage, the bravery to be able to travel to that certain place, for example, or to learn that particular subject or to get into that certain area, right? You have so much enthusiasm and it shows. Like your zest for life shows. But also at the same time, you can come across as so deeply wise. Like, you may get told even by many people, you're so wise. You're so wise because what you know about yourself, what you know about life, it comes from a deeper place than just you. It comes from something that's more universal. And it could also be suggested that you like to teach. Maybe you are a teacher. Maybe that is literally tied to your occupation, right? It's about teaching. But then again, this doesn't have to be in a literal way. This could also be more so from a place of experience, right? Teaching from experience or sharing your knowledge, sharing what you know to be true about the world with others. Plus, you've got all that Libra in the 11th, right? So, oh my goodness, you're here to influence people, right? You're here to change how things are done, and you do it so diplomatically, so like, all the tact. It's almost as if to say you can get people onto your side almost effortlessly because you, in a way, I think you know how people work. You know what to say to get people to maybe believe in your message, to agree with you. I think about sales, I think about marketing, advertising, technology, you being in charge of a big firm or a company and feeling that pressure, working with large sums of money possibly. But basically, it's you that is able to bring your gifts of communication to the forefront. And that within itself suggests that, to me, you've been widely successful when it comes to communication in some capacity. Yeah. Well, Glenn, that was your mini reading, and I hope it was useful. I hope it was good for you. Thank you so much. And let me see. We have Sarah next. Yes, thank you, Sarah. And then we have, let me have a look. Okay, yeah. Okay, no problem. All right, no problem at all. We have Sarah next, and then we have another person who has booked after. Let me check the chat here. Oh, amazing. Thanks, Sarah. And hello to, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. So, Anouk, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Anouk Sophia, thank you very much for being here. And thank you. That was really kind of you to say. Tanya, you said that it was very spot on with him. What? Wow. Okay. Well, thank you kindly for booking. And I hope that Glenn found it to be helpful. My intention here is to guide and to shed light on those patterns and themes within the chart. Okay, give me a moment, everybody, so I can get the next reading all set up. This is a reminder that these are mini readings, and if you want the full picture, if you want to book with me, you can go to my website, hannahselsewhere.com. I have recently updated my services. It's the perfect mix, everyone. I'm so happy with them. They've all been designed for specific purposes, and I'm sure there is something for everyone available. Yeah, very happy about it. Okay, let me have a look. Yep. 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 Oh, and also, Sarah, it was your birthday recently. Happy birthday to you. I hope you had a great day. I do have some announcements at the very end of the session, so definitely stay tuned if you want to hear the announcements. Yeah, it's just to let you know a few things about updates and what's to come. Radio, let me get this ready. Boom, 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 boom. I'm now looking at your question, Sarah. Oh, and I'm gonna display your reading, your chart here. Okay. Question. Let me have a look at your question. Spirituality. In my chart and past blockages. Okay, no problem. Let's see. Timing techniques. Let's have a look. Timing techniques. Fourth. Okay. Transits. Okay. All right, I am now assessing your chart. Okay. Aries. Yep. Gemini. Mercury. Let me read your question one more time. I really need to understand it. I really want to let it sink in. I need to understand it. Spirituality. All right, well, let's begin. And we'll move slowly through this. I feel like it needs a slow approach. Right, a couple of things that I want to highlight, especially about the year ahead for you, Sarah. One is that with you recently turning a new age, the fourth house is activated in your chart for the year. Okay. So the fourth house, as you can see, let me just check. I've still got the chart on the screen. Yep, got it. Okay. The fourth house here has Pisces residing within it. And Jupiter, your chart ruler, is also there. What I'm picking up on here a little bit is there could, right, okay, this is just a possibility, but there could be a potential move, right? Some significant move that happens this year for you. Maybe especially around spring 2026, something like that. But then again, this could also be something that you're already trying to consider, right? You're already considering. Because what has happened very recently, actually, is that the North Node aligned with your natal Jupiter there in the fourth house. So, what is this all about? I mean, the North Node is about destiny, It's about our direction, where we're headed. Jupiter is about travel, long distance travel, especially. And with Jupiter being your chart ruler, there could be some sort of new beginnings that really come through here, especially when we think about home. Okay, home, family. So this could then possibly manifest as this relocating stuff, particularly because the fourth house is activated within your chart for this whole year. Now, there's more to this. There's definitely more to consider, because what we also see is the very traditional ruler of your fourth, Jupiter. It is located in Cancer right now. So it's transiting the sign of Cancer in your 8th house. Maybe what this indicates is that this is a year where maybe you'll want to get your finances in order. There could be some debts you want to clear, or it could be that you want to maybe save for a particular loan so that you can afford to jump or to head into a new territory, a new realm, if you will. Or, this could also be about the travel stuff that we previously mentioned. Cancer is about the home. And maybe for you, this is about outgrowing a space, right? Jupiter is about expansion. It's about growth. Cancer is about home, safety. So I'm imagining something to do with getting outside of your comfort zone. But with Cancer, there can still be the hesitation. There can still be the, it's kind of scary out here. I don't know. I don't know if I can do this. But then I'm also going to say that this is so much about coming to this point of peace. Peace. The fourth house you see in astrology also is tied to closure. Being able to say, you know what, this particular chapter or this particular situation, I'm ready to move on from it. I've assessed it every way possible and I'm good. Like I feel at peace here, especially with Pisces. Pisces is the sign of inner peace. The North Node, we go back to the North Node. So there is this change happening. There's something that you're being directed away from and towards. Yeah. And like I was saying to the other previous individuals who booked, well, we're about to come into another eclipse season. And what's going to be significant for you then, Sarah, is that those eclipses are going to happen in your 10th, 4th house axis. So what's going to be ushered in, which to be fair, these themes have already been ushered in, but you're really going to feel these themes intensify. But these themes are about purpose, your life's work. It's about even the services you provide, the work that you do, the day-to-day stuff, because Venus is in the 10th house. Venus rules your 6th house of work, your 6th house of health. Now, Venus also rules your 11th house of networks, communities, teams, organizations. So then I'm also wondering about how those matters will change in some way. But this is about you going over the details. This is about refinement. And it's also about equally trusting the process, letting go those significant releases, because at the same time, there are those eclipses, well, the lunar eclipse basically, that will happen in the 4th house for you. Now, I'm not saying that, Virgo season is the time when you're going to go all in and you're either going to move or you're going to find a new job or you're going to get into another area, right? And I do think that those areas do have some kind of spiritual quality to them because of Pisces, because of Jupiter transiting the 8th house, right? We think about the occult, for example. We think about hidden matters, hidden truths with the 8th house. But there's more to this as well, because I'm thinking that Saturn's going to come back into Pisces in the 4th. So, like I was trying to say at the previous point, it's not necessarily to say that you're going to go all in and you're going to completely change direction. It is about an easing. It is about, okay, there could be some realizations, epiphanies. There could be like a, what the heck am I doing? And there could even be this feeling of coming out of a fog. But then that's when you just might feel the call to take action. You just might feel the call to tie up a few loose ends, get things in order, especially as Saturn comes back into the 4th September time and will finish up in Pisces throughout the rest of the year coming into 2026. So to me, this is about endings in some way, shape, or form, especially tied to where you live. But you see, it goes deeper than that. I think it goes deeper than that. It's not just about where you physically live. I think it's more about how you feel. Yeah. It's about your inner security, your emotional wellness, and knowing where you thrive, knowing in which environments you thrive in and which kinds of rules you thrive in, right? A lot of this, let me have a look here again at your question. Yeah, a lot of this is about career, purpose. Yeah, and then you being in the same kind of career. Well, basically, the South Node and the eclipses in the 10th are really highlighting something of significance here about what you do professionally, about even how it is that you earn money for your services, because Venus, remember, Venus does rule the 6th. And then also maybe there's something about outgrowing certain relationships, certain friendships, certain groups that you're a part of, maybe a certain social identity that no longer aligns with you. So we do see these significant shifts. And let me also, I want to think a moment, just if I've maybe anything else to highlight. Well, okay, the last thing I'm going to say for you is that Mars is going to enter Libra in the next few days, week, or something like that, very, very soon, basically, and will start to align with the midheaven in your chart. Yeah, with the midheaven. And then, of course, you've got the North Node in Aries, the South Node in Libra. So, what's coming through here is passion. Passion. Fun. What's coming through here is being active and sort of bringing this spark back, right? Reigniting your spark and moving more towards this greater enthusiasm and being courageous as you do so. Maybe greater play. Maybe this is even potentially about coaching in some way, shape, or form, right? Coaching could be about fitness, sports, being quite athletic. There could be themes here to do with your creativity, even your creative gifts, your creative passions. Yeah, so there, basically what I'm trying to get at here is that the fire is gonna come into this. There's something that's gonna be felt. Of course, yes, Mars will also be in Libra. So maybe in some way, shape, or form, it's also about weighing out your options. Just being thoughtful, mindful. Okay, maybe something for you to consider is, what are your options? Ask yourself, what are my options, especially within the context of creativity, within the context of art, or when we also consider more of those spiritual themes, even Neptune. Neptune is about spirituality. Saturn can be about, okay, well, let's bring form to what those spiritual gifts are. There's more I could say, but these are mini readings. So thank you so much, Sarah. Right, give me a moment, please. Give me a moment. I need to catch myself. Let's see. Reading the chat. I love that. You went to Sicily. Amazing. I hope you had a great time. Historical trips. Oh, amazing. Passion and fun. Definitely. Yeah. You're going to have Saturn and Neptune travel all the way through your fifth house over the next coming years. So think about your hobbies. But then again, I do see this as you taking on some new hobby that could really speak to your inner child. Anyway, thank you, Sarah. Amazing. Thank you so much. Right, now we are going to explore another reading. If you give me a moment, please, I need to enter in their information. Thank you for booking. Let's see. Right. Yep. Yep. Okay. No problem. Quickly, before we explore the next individual's chart, I have a poll. Okay, I have a poll on the channel. If you haven't completed it, if you haven't answered, go to that poll because my question in it is about, would you like live full moon and new moon videos? So I host these live readings, but I'm thinking, would you like live readings done around new moons and full moons? Then you can hopefully work with the energy within your chart. So we're really thinking about those personalized readings. Yeah, let me know. I have a couple of different options available. So, for example, if you want that to be more of a private service, we can do that. Or if you want it to be more of a community thing, where we get together as a group and we discuss the astrology of the full moon and the new moon and we talk about things, that's also an option. But let me know. Your feedback is always appreciated. And yay, I'm so glad. Okay, great. Okay, let's see. I am now getting the next chart ready. And I'm going to take some time reading your question because it's quite lengthy. So please bear with me. Oh, hold on. Oh, hold on. Would you like this in Placidus? Let me properly read this because I see the word Placidus and I need to make sure. Okay. Okay. Okay, no problem. So if I'm gonna grab your chart anyway in Placidus as well, because I know you mentioned it and I wanna be sure here. Okay, I need to explore dates here. So December. Let me see. Thank you for your patience. I'm really basically trying to cater to your question. Let's do that as well. Yeah. Oh, let me see. Oh, no problem. No problem, Esther. No problem. Thank you. Good. Okay. We can now say your name. Amazing. Thank you so much. All right. Got it. I got it. Thank you. Give me a couple of moments. I need to take in your chart and I want to answer your question to the best of my ability. Thank you for booking. Thank you for being here. Right. So, themes to do with work, finding work, job stuff like that. All right. Okay. Saturn. All right, let's break this down. And what I want to firstly start off by saying is, which by the way, I hope I'm not going too deep too quick, but this is standing out at me. Basically, Chiron retrograde has recently started. Chiron retrograde is a pretty common thing, so I'm not saying that to create any kind of fear within you or anything like that, right? But Chiron retrograde is basically right on your natal Saturn. Saturn rules your 6th house of work. So, what I'm going to suggest here, especially as someone who is really designed to guide, what I'm going to say here is this could be a beneficial time for you over the next coming months, particularly to address anything that is somewhat unresolved for you, perhaps physically or psychologically, when we consider any work, coworker, colleague, boss issues. Okay. And I'm saying this with compassion here, because I think there could be a part of what you're experiencing where in which you feel blocked or limited because there could be some type of rejection, maybe particularly a rejection of the self, a rejection of your own identity. And Of course, Mercury, or Chiron makes that square by transit. So the transit Chiron makes the square to your natal Mercury, and Mercury rules your second house of self-worth. So this could very well highlight themes to do with limitation, being hard on yourself, blaming yourself, punishing yourself. But at the same time, this is about you going within. This is about you actually coming to terms with your voice. Your voice and your accomplishments, what you know, what you are an authority in some way, shape, or form within. Because what we see with Mercury, let's think about this. Let's think about this through this lens of skill. Mercury in Capricorn in the 6th house indicates to me that you're someone within the workplace who thinks strategically. You think about, okay, well, what's the plan? What's the use of this? You have bucket loads of I would say, potentially management skills, management qualities. So let's think about this. You're a great organizer. You're a great leader. You recognize gifts and talents in other people. I also see this as you being somewhat punctual. Now, of course, there are some nuances. There are some other themes going on because equally Neptune is conjunct Mercury. So there could be some kind of challenge that you're facing right now to do with your mind, especially through the lens of feeling misunderstood, fearing you'll get it wrong, maybe living in your head, detaching. Yeah, the detachment, the detaching from a situation maybe as a way to cope with it, particularly with other people. Okay, we think about you and other team members, other individuals, basically within work, within business settings, business partnerships, stuff like that. And Pluto right now, of course, has been retrograde for some time, but is very much in alignment with this Mercury Neptune stuff. So we do see the ability to transmute this energy, to transmute the energy of, oh, what do I know? Or, oh, I'm never going to find that job. I'm never going to find that role. It's not going to happen for me, right? To transmute that energy into something that's more like, you know what? Yeah, I believe in myself. Yeah, I'm not going to give up on hope because hope is important. Yeah, I can visualize my dream life. Like I can visualize my dream job. I can literally visualize my dream employer. And I can see myself doing those things, right? The skills and what you have already gained, what you have already acquired, and then bringing those things forth into reality, grounding them into reality. It may not necessarily seem like it right now, but there's something that's happening within you, right? This is a psychological process. There's something that's being rebuilt from the ground up. And I'm also going to say this, Esther. What we further see is that Pluto and Chiron are in the 5th house for you. And what has been ushered in over recent months is this Saturn-Neptune stuff in the 9th. What is deeply ingrained within you about your beliefs, about what you can achieve or cannot achieve in the world? What is deeply ingrained about your sense of self, right? Individuality, rejections, for instance. Times whenever you've maybe been overpowered by other people, told, you're not good enough, told, blamed, punished, shamed, projected onto. But you see, this to me is about you taking the leap. This to me is about you taking a next step forward for yourself and really challenging those beliefs, those unconscious drives and patterns that kind of creep in. They creep in. And you go, no, I'm not going to let them win. So I hope you can see that this stuff is there's something psychological going on here, tied to the likes of work and even achievement and accomplishment, because transit Pluto is making a square to the midheaven. A square to that midheaven. The midheaven is about our career path. It's about our life's work, purpose. So this square, whilst it can suggest a kind of a challenging point when we think about you being opposed by other people, possibly opposed by other people, or feeling like you're constantly being opposed. It's like, next one, flip, nothing's going according to plan. But actually, this is about you really coming to terms with, no, I will get through this. I have what it takes. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to master my craft. I'm going to learn more. I'm going to study more. I'm going to practice my interview skills. I'm going to practice my skills when it comes to maybe the searching of a job itself. Maybe there's something about where you're actually looking, or maybe there's something here about continuing to sort of dive in and look closer, look deeper. Let me have a look here at other parts of this. A moment, please. Mercury. Okay. Saturn. Yep. Venus. Yeah. Okay. Last thing I'm going to say for you, Esther. Let's try and think about it a bit more practically. Mercury retrograde is currently happening in your first house. So this has been your opportunity to, hey, look, we can look at this as a positive thing here, because this has been your opportunity to assess the situation when it comes to advertisements, what's out there, like document wise, article wise, website wise, right? Because Mercury is so much about technology, it's about advertising, it's about marketing, stuff like that. So you're currently having an opportunity to be able to revisit things or to look over certain roles or positions, etc. Especially through a lens of money, earnings, organizations, groups you want to be a part of. Then Mercury is going to turn direct on the 11th of August. And what will happen over the next coming weeks is Mercury will align with the North Node in your chart. And will also oppose one of your Venus. One of your Venus. Where was I looking again? Taurus and Libra. Yes, so Venus there is your career planet. Let's put it that way. It's your professional planet. So Mercury will oppose Venus and align with the North Node, maybe highlighting that there will be some type of movement. So, for example, this could be movement into a potential new role you apply for, or there could be a new opportunity that comes up. and you go for it, there's the big green light with it. But then at the same time, what you'll also be drawing from is that of your unique skills, your unique gifts, what you can bring uniquely, right, to a potential new role. And this then is also, I think, about how you stand out from the crowd. Okay, this is a mini reading, and Esther, I hope that was enough. Thank you so much. Let me see. Oh, great. Okay. So you relate to this? Interesting. Yes. I do apologize about the Venus thing. I was like, where was it again? Where was Taurus? Where was Libra? And Esther's chart again. But yeah, I hope that was helpful. Thank you very much for booking. And I think that's us. And nobody else has booked in for this evening. We could say that that's us today. A lot of introspection. Yes. Well, I do wish you all the best, Esther. Thank you for booking. Let me have a look here and double check that nobody else has booked in. Okay. I'm going to give it until 1:15, so 1 hour 15 minutes, and if nobody else books, then we're going to call it a day or a night wherever you are. And this is a reminder that these have been mini readings. If you would like to book a full reading with me, you can visit my website, hannahselsewhere.com. Of course, we can go into more depth, more detail. You get more time. And Nemesis, oh, amazing. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And very cool as well that you are also from Northern Ireland. So it's always good to see. And I'm glad that you got to catch a live. Yes. Okay, we have someone else who has booked in. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to edit the title to say that we are fully booked for this one. So if you give me a moment, and then once I do this title, then I'll read your chart. Thank you very much for booking. Quick reminder, if you are interested in going to Bali together as a community, May 2026, you can find information all about it in the description box. You can sign up to keep yourself notified because tickets go on sale on Wednesday. It's very exciting. Okay. Thank you for your patience there. And I need to read your information and enter in your information. Okay. Okay. And please be patient with me. I need to read your question. Legal. Okay. Right. Well, this is certainly a sensitive topic, and I'm sorry to hear that this is something you're experiencing. It does sound very, very challenging indeed. A lot is on your plate, and especially with being pregnant, that can be a lot to deal with. Give me a moment, please. So, if I do this. So, of course, I do understand that you want to be kept anonymous, and I fully respect that. Let's have a look. Make sure. Yep. Okay. Let's see. Right. And Nemesis, thank you. That's very, very kind of you to say. I will be focusing on this individual's chart, and I need some time to be mindful, be slower, and attentive. Okay, so a lot of legal stuff here. All right. First thing I want to say for this particular individual is that Mars is going to enter Libra very soon. Let me give you dates. Let me give you dates. I want to try, take my time, be mindful. So, Mars enters Libra on the 6th of August. Basically, then coming into September, about that, maybe just over that, Mars will align with the Sun in your chart in the 9th house. Okay, this is important. The 9th house is about legal proceedings. Libra itself is a sign of justice. The Sun rules your 7th house of partnerships, one-to-one partnerships, which involves business. So we could look at this within the context of your situation. So I hope you can see where I'm coming from here. Now, Mars, what does Mars do? Mars is about force. Mars is about strength. Mars cuts through things. So, one way to think about this is that there could be some sort of cutting influence. There could be a release. There could be a direct call to action, especially because you've got the South Node in Libra too. To me, what this implies is that you're going to be forced to make a decision. North Node is in Aries then, in the third house of communication. And whilst you're being forced to make a decision, there's a big part of this that's about standing up for what you believe in. That's about speaking authentically, being courageous, being noble. So, what I'm trying to get at here is we're seeing these significant shifts. Give me a moment so I can read your question again. It is quite lengthy. Yeah. So contracts and agreements show up within the seventh house. And then again, the sun rules the seventh house for you. So maybe the contract stuff could be addressed. This to me screams you are the one who's going to be standing firm for justice. You're a Libra after all. You're not just gonna sit and down and take it. You're not just gonna do that. You have a side to you, right? Okay, you have Libra. You as an archetype certainly has a side to it that's about being somewhat diplomatic, fair, getting along with people. South Node in Libra, sure, can also suggest you can at times lean towards the people-pleasing stuff. Oh, no problem. Oh, that's no problem. Yeah, you want to take that away or mess up my pay or do this and that. That's fine. No, no. Mars and Libra is not, it's not for playing around here. Mm-mm. There's another side to Libra. When Libra especially is pushed too far, pushed way too far, and then that's really when the anger of Libra comes out and goes, hold on a second, you think you can mess with me? Mm-mm. So Mars in Libra, I think, is really going to activate something about this. And wow, astrology, wow. Okay. And at the same time, what's going to happen here? Let's think about how Mars rules your midheaven. Mars is the very dispositor of all of that Scorpio in your 10th. So, with all the Scorpio in the 10th, sure, one way to think about this is the power plays. It's the over empowerment or the overpowering influences. It is the manipulative tactics, the sneaky stuff, the sneaky, shady stuff that could be happening underneath the surface within your profession, within your role, certain roles that you go for. But equally, there's something here that says that you are that empowering individual and that you are someone who will read the fine print. It's basically about going to this situation, right? The legal stuff. These are the facts. These are the recordings. These are the dates of the meetings. This is exactly what was said, right? You collect receipts, right? That's the whole thing. Scorpio, you collect the receipts. So I think that if you've done everything, if you've gathered up all the information you need, you've looked at it from all angles, and you know what your rights are, right? You know what your rights are. You're going to walk into this situation and you're going to come out winning. Yeah. And then also with Mars, so Mars in your natal chart, that's in Aquarius. So this further indicates to me that you do tend to go for positions where, for example, you're a supervisor, a leader, you're super accomplished, you're the authority, you're the boss, or it's that you work strongly within the team. You're a team player, you have so much ambition, and boy, are you going to be respected for that ambition. Yeah. Let me again read your question. Mhm, mhm. So, what I'm trying to get at here is we do see something coming to a head over the next coming weeks. That's what I see. Now, as for, I want to address this. I think it's important to address this. As for your health, right? You say that you are pregnant and you don't need this stress. You do not need this stress. If anything, you should be relaxing. You should be taking care of yourself. Yes. So, whenever we look here to the sick house, you've got the sick house in Cancer. So, there is this significance to do with your daily routines and habits, especially aligning with your emotional needs, your emotional wellness. And then we also see that Jupiter is transiting the sick house. Jupiter rules your second house of money and also rules your 11th house of organizations and companies. So we do see, because Saturn and everything is in the 11th house for you, we see the restriction, the confinement, things like that. But we also see this energy of feeling safe, you needing to feel safe, you listening to your intuition, listening to your body. Even the North Node is traveling through that second house area for you. So maybe there's something here about you going, you know what? I would rather look after myself and my well-being than care about all of that chaos. To me, this is about putting your emotional needs first. First. And who knows? Last thing I'm going to say here for you. Who knows? You just might get some kind of, it could be compensation or, something about money, other people's money could come through here because we're about to enter eclipse season. So I'm really thinking about the legal stuff tied to, this work situation and what you might receive because of how they have treated you. Hey, that's it. That is a possibility here, especially because, hey, the lunar eclipse is going to happen on your natal Jupiter. Jupiter's in the second house of personal finances. I do wonder. I wonder about financial changes. But then again, it could also manifest as you moving on from a financial situation yourself and you being at peace with that. And last thing, actually, I want to mention about the lunar eclipse in Pisces. I want to give you the date of that. 7th of September. 7th of September. Might not happen on the exact day, most likely not on the exact day, but we're seeing these themes. Thank you very much. That was your reading. You wanted to be kept anonymous, and that's completely fine. And I hope that you find it to be helpful. But everyone, it's been now an hour and a half, and that's us. We're at the very end. I want to mention a couple of things. So I want to mention an announcement that there are new services available on the Hannah's Elsewhere website. Each reading has been made with care and detail, and I put a lot of thought into this mix. So if you're interested in booking a reading with me, go to my website, hannahselsewhere.com. I can certainly guide you based on your chart. There's even a creativity reading. There's a business reading for all of you entrepreneurs, business owners. You want to start a business. I mean, I've ran my own business for the past 7 years, and I also have a business qualification. So I can certainly help you. I can guide you using astrology. And also, I want to further add that there is a poll on the channel, and that poll is to do with, would you like live reading sessions that focus on full moons and new moons. So then I can help guide and support during those times. Of course, there will be a small fee for those readings, but it's really to let you know, right? It's to ask you, what do you want from me? What do you want to see? And a couple other things I want to mention is Bali. So Bali is going to be May 2026. Tickets go on sale on Wednesday. It's all organized through a travel company, right? They're doing all of that hard work, and I'm so grateful. So yeah, basically tickets go on sale on Wednesday. So keep your eyes peeled. The link is down below if you want to learn more about the itinerary and when it is exactly and how long it's for, all of that. And you can sign up, you can express your interest. And then the last thing is we are going to be starting the Sinistry series. The Sinistry series on the channel. And I'm even going to set up a members only account for you, the audience. So then you can get something a little bit extra. Yes. So I'm really excited about Sinistry series. I've got a whole plan and everything laid out. But anyway, that's me. That is all of my announcements. And thank you. Thanks everyone for being here. I'm gonna now get going. I have some tea waiting on me, some chocolate probably, and I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my day. And I hope that you also enjoy the rest of your day. And thank you very much to everybody who booked and to everybody who chatted with me in the comments. I appreciate you. Thanks, everyone. What a great community. Thanks for being here. I will talk to you all very, very soon.